Hello, my friend. It's the Crypto Lunatic live from the Lunar Café, bringing you a market update. With brutality, blood is running through crypto. Crypto's been annihilated. They've sent the assassins. They are out to get you and your crypto, my friends. So today I'm just going to look at what I believe is a fairly big aspect of what's going on at the moment. Now, who knows what the market's going to do? Are we in a terminal nosedive down? Well, look, it's not for me to tell you. It's just for me to bring certain information to your awareness so that you've got the full picture to play with here, my friends. Because fear is high. In fact, we haven't seen this sort of fear in the market since the FTX crash back in the day, folks. Back in the day, for you veterans, you will remember that. And certainly in crypto historically, that massive fear moments usually present the biggest opportunities. Now, I say usually, it's just commentary, my friends. It's just commentary. It is definitely not financial advice. It is just to help you to focus on an aspect of the market that I believe is critically important right now. So, with that in mind, my friend, join me on a little journey. Join me on a little journey. So, first and foremost, look, market brutality. Brutality. So this is as bad as it's been lately. Certainly, look, we go down, it's just red all the way. Zcash, well, that's that seems to be one of the very few cryptos that has escaped, but this is just brutal. Asta as well, but let's face it, this has been a terrible time for crypto. And people are panicking. Fear and greed at 11. Now this is really, really low. So things are bad. They're looking bad at the moment. Now, you've heard the quote. I'm going to give it to you again. The Warren Buffett quote, when people are fearful, be greedy. Now, is it a time to be greedy? Well, most of you are probably sitting there thinking I'm all in with crypto, that there is no money left to be greedy with. Now, if you are, I've got money left to be greedy with, all the better. If you don't, question is, do you sell at this point? Well, the fact is, folks, it's probably heavy lost time for most people. Let's see what's going on. So let's go to where we start. ETFs, exchange traded funds. These are the big boys. And look, yesterday, the 20th, they all rinsed you, all of them. BlackRock leading the way. Grayscale, the usual suspect. Look, Grayscale has been just rinsing you the whole way. At least BlackRock's given you a couple of reprieves. But BlackRock, Grayscale, Fidelity, look, rinsing you. 2,000 sell-off, almost 4,000 from BlackRock, over 2,000 from Grayscale. And here, these haven't helped either. Arkham. So there you go. Here are the villains of the piece, my friends. Arc 21, Bitwise, Grayscale, Fidelity, and iShares, which is BlackRock. They are all out to get you right now. This is a coordinated move to manipulate the market. It is a sell-off, my friends, by the people with the big money. The big money are selling off, and they are doing it brutally right now. Absolutely brutally selling off. And there's no way to gloss that over, my friends. So let's talk about an area that I've been addressing for a long time. And this is the upcoming exchange traded funds or exchange traded products. So when the US market, when the US government shut down, there were over 100 exchange traded products caught in the pipeline. So these are all being put through by all of these. All of these players here are the ones who've had their applications slowed down by the government shutdown. Now, is this a coincidence? Well, I've asked 3 AI engines to the best of your ability, please predict the estimated timeline for approval of all the current crypto exchange traded fund applications to reach a conclusion. So we know that there's a lot of altcoins involved there: Polkadot, HBAR, Dogecoin, Cardano, Litecoin, XRP, and Solana is the big one. So there's all sorts of nonsense here, but the bottom line is influencing factors. Yes, yes, yes. And overall, The crypto ETF approval process in the US is now highly accelerated, with the expectation that nearly all major filings will reach a definite or definitive conclusion and likely approve by the end of 2025. Bear this in mind, my friends. Setting the stage for expanded offerings in 2026. So that was Perplexity. Let's go to ChatGPT. Same deal. So predicting the exact timeline for approval of ETFs applications is challenging due to a variety of factors. That's all you really need to know. They don't know for certain, my friends. So let's go down. Let's go down and go to the conclusion. So the spot Bitcoin ETFs likely to be approved by 2025-26. So this is out of date. Look, the ETF spot on futures 2024. So here we go. Look, so they don't really know. Altcoin ETFs, they're saying not likely before 2026. So this is what ChatGPT thinks. Whilst the SEC and other regulatory bodies in the US have taken a cautious approach, the pressure is building for them to catch up with international markets. It will be interesting to see if the SEC starts to shift its stance, especially as more financial institutions enter the space and demand for crypto-based investment products continues to rise. So finally, Grok. Now, Grok is a little bit more on the ball as far as up-to-date information is concerned. So let's have a look. As of today, the Securities and Exchange Commission is actively reviewing over 90 pending cryptocurrency ETF applications, a surge driven by the approval of spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs in early 2024 and early 2025. So here we go. You see the usual suspects: Solana, XRP, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Cardano, AVAX, Hedera, Polkadot, all on the list. So the partial government shutdown, blah, blah, blah. Solana, approved in October 2025. Multiple funds from VanEck, 21 shares, Grayscale. Now notice these names, my friends. Notice these names. The same ones that are tanking, absolutely tanking crypto at the moment. I believe there's no coincidence here. And just to bring that alive, just to completely connect the dots for you on that one. These companies now have enough Bitcoin that they can manipulate the market. They're launching new ETF products. Now, do you think it is in their interest for Bitcoin to fly upwards while they're waiting for approval? Or do you think they would rather retrace it so that the people can get into their nice, newly approved products at a massive discount? Think about that, my friends. This is big. This is an aspect of crypto, I believe, not enough people are focusing on at the moment. Now, of course, this is just a single factor. There's a lot of other factors in crypto, but I think this is a fairly big one. It's a fairly big factor. Tailwinds, blah, 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 timeline approvals. We see here that as late November. So this is a lot more optimistic than ChatGPT's timeline. So for XRP, for the 21 shares, Franklin Templeton, Bitwise. So the Litecoin Canary initial multi-asset with Grayscale and CoinDesk, all of the people that are tanking crypto, imminent approval for their ETFs. So short term, Dogecoin, Bitwise, Grayscale, Cardano, Grayscale, all of these names pending approval, pending approval, pending approval. So overall conclusion and market impact. To the best available data, I predict the majority, 70 to 80% of current applications will reach approval by the end of Q1 2026. With a conclusion for high-profile ones, XRP, LTC, and Doge by December the 31st, 2025. The timeline reflects the SEC's accelerated post-shutdown processing and 100% odds for 16 plus frontrunners that cites the Balcones. Cited by Balcones. The remaining backlog could spill into mid-2026, but pro-crypto policies under the Trump administration suggest minimal rejections. So loads of crypto products lined up for approval with a massively high likelihood of approval. And here's a couple of articles just to bring it alive. So this one was 2 weeks ago by CCN. Crypto ETF watch list, key filings, players, and status updates. And look, it just tells us what we already know. BlackRock, here we go. record. The ETHA set a single day flow record of 266 million. So look, you see all of the usual players, VanEck, Bitwise, 21 shares, all of these people are absolutely coordinating an attack on the market right now. Coordinated, my friends, all these big players, all pending approval of their crypto products. And finally, here is from BitGet. And look what we've got here, XRP news update. So the SEC streamlines the rules granting crypto ETFs a 20-day accelerated approval process. Now, I almost don't need to read anything else because this is relevant. So they've fast-tracked the application process, the approval process for these products, the SEC. And this is an article that has only been brought out in the last day or so. So this is a new article that says that they've sped things up. Let's have a little look. ETF proposals. Let's go to the conclusion. So interest in XRP related products has climbed sharply with Canary's XRPC ETF and other filings underway. 2025 is set to be a landmark year for crypto ETFs. The SEC's actions after the shutdown, together with Project Crypto's structured framework, are expected to drive the most rapid expansion of US digital asset ETFs so far. So there you go, my friends. And as I say, look, I'm not here to give you hopium because the market can go down. It possibly will do, pending the actual approval of these products. But this is just to give you a fuller picture of what might be going on at the moment, and certainly a profile of the key players that are manipulating the market in a downward spiral at the moment. BlackRock, my friends. And let's face it, BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, they owe you nothing. Little old retail investor. Well, you're not a high net worth. You're not on their radar. They don't care about you. And that's the reality of crypto, that retail usually gets rinsed. They usually get rinsed by the big boys. And that is why round about 80% of people lose money trading crypto, especially people new to the space. So go in with your eyes open, my friends. I'm not going to advise you one way or another. This is not financial advice. This is pure commentary. What you do next is entirely up to you, but it's important to be aware of the facts because there's a lot of fear about at the moment, and having some perspective on that is always helpful. And if this has been helpful, my friends, then do please like and subscribe to the channel. There's another video there should you wish to see it. And either way, stay lunatic, have fun, and make money with crypto.